My final question is this, if I could.
Sure.
I struggle with the entries and the macro, and I've gone back and forth on discipline. I'm only going to enter in the macro, or I'm only going to enter when there's a PD array formed in the macro. And when I watch your trades, honestly, sometimes I get so frustrated because it looks so obvious when you do it and you teach it, and then I look at it and go, man, I'm obsessively. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm nights and weekends, 4 to 8 hours a day on the weekends, 2 to 4 hours at night. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's intense because I'm sort of OCD in that way. But when I see it and I'm not there yet, it's very frustrating. And I've heard a lot of other people share that. In terms of the entry relative to the macro, am I overthinking it by thinking I should either enter only in a macro or enter only when PD arrays form in a macro? Because I see a lot of your trades entered outside of the macro. Could you comment to that?
If you stick to these rules, it'll do better for you than if you didn't. The macro times are like key injections of volatility that are directionally derived. It means if there's going to be a directional run, they're going to many times start or originate just after that. So
Okay.
try not to predict the move or be positioned ahead of the macro. I have done some of that in this economic climate, and sometimes I've had to suffer through a little bit of drawdown. It went because of my experience sometimes in my favor, but other times it stopped me out. So don't try to trade ahead of the macro time. Trade either during the macro time or just after it, as long as you're in close proximity to what starts that trade. So if the inception of the price run is going to go higher and you didn't participate during the macro time to get in at the ideal time, but you're in close proximity to it just after the macro time ended, and there's a PD array that supports what you're expecting to see happen, don't be afraid to take that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that at all. But what I've done, I've taken more drawdown than I should have because I'm trying to outsmart the marketplace because of the bullshit that's going on. I'm predicting what I think should happen in price action and trading ahead of the macro, and it's not giving me the benefit that I would expect by having greater smarts or experience, actually suffering through more drawdown or the market's just sitting there stagnant. And then after the macro does what it normally does, then it runs. So I'm putting myself through unnecessary frustration. Mm-hmm. So that's my best response to your question in regards to the macro and whatnot.
Okay. Hugely helpful. Okay. Thank you. I'll just close by saying, Kit, thank you very much. When you first started referring me back to core content, I was thinking, man, I've been doing this for almost, a year and a half, 4 hours and 2 hours a session. I'll never be able to do it. And I finally just heard your persuasion enough to sort of go back. And I appreciate the fact that you're an encyclopedia and all this. So thank you very much. I appreciate this. And thanks for allowing me to ask the questions. I'm very grateful for you, Kit, and for you, Michael. You're a gift to us all. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing the time.
Yeah, my man, Gray Eagle, coming up. Really enjoyed. You got to follow out of me, Gray Eagle. I'll be in your DMs. I'm excited to, jump into the, we'll jump on the chart and take a look at some things and see if we can't delve into some of these concepts. I mean, you really just want to model. I love your question on macros. I can tell you this, and I just want to add, as a student, when you backtest, when you look for ways to increase your Sharpe ratio, your win rate, your expectancy, these very specific analytics that over time become more and more important. I'm someone who's done that a lot, and I'm here to tell you, I got the data. I don't fuck around in the market if it ain't a macro. I win way more if I'm trading in a macro. If I'm trying to fuck around outside of a macro, then my expectancy goes down and my rim weight goes down. So I'm telling you from experience as someone who is, as a student, my analytics, my statistics go down when I'm not operating in a macro. So take that for what it's worth. You've got data to collect and you've got ways in which to find your trade. But I'm just giving you my thoughts and 2 cents on that.
No, I appreciate that. It's funny. I have a spreadsheet that I keep track of, and long story short, I'll be quick. I put it into ChatGPT to analyze what what am I doing right? What am I doing well, et cetera. And it came back and said, hey, when you're in premium or discount, you're doing that right. And when you're in the macro, your results are better. So that's why I wanted to ask Michael, because I see a lot of his trades.
Yeah. I mean, data, you can prove to yourself within data and the execution of your models of the things that you're looking for. You can substantiate, which is what Michael has asked you to do. And within here in Trader Roundup, he says very clearly the 50-10s are his macros. Everything else is bullshit. Yeah, you can find whatever you want, but he said it very clearly. Those are his macros, and that's what we trade. And there's an evolution in which those macros were presented to the community. And I go back to that original sequence. And I mean, as someone who's been studying Michael as long as I have, we're going back to literally the forum days and back to, students communicating and talking with themselves on what might be these ranges. So when Michael clears things up as he has, and he explains to all of us what the 50-10 is, in my opinion, all you got to do is go chase down the data, chase down the arrays, and look in where and how you can frame your model within that context.
Yeah, that makes sense.